Hello, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my report on Mars conjunct Pluto. This is a very big deal, and it's definitely the nastiest aspect we have this month. Of course, we do have an eclipse, and there can be intensity around that, but that's not till March and April, even though we might start feeling those eclipses now. This is definitely, Mars-Pluto conjunction is definitely the thing to watch in February. It's the nastiest aspect of the month, but since it's a conjunction, that's not innately a bad aspect. It's an intense aspect. It's the most intense aspect in all of astrology. And it could go either way. So I'm going to start out by giving you the warnings of things that you really need to be careful of, the time frame, and then we'll go into some ways that this can actually work to your benefit. Okay, let's talk about the time frame first. This is happening February 13th into the 14th. Again, these dates could shift a bit depending on your time zone, but in the days around there, 2024. I'm going to give the full week in either direction. So we'll say February 6th through February 21st for the manifestation time. Things could always happen a little before or after that window, but that's the main window to watch out for this energy and to actually consciously use the energy as well. So a conjunction is when we have something at 0 degrees. Podcast friends, I'm going to take a picture of the screenshot or the chart that I'm using here on YouTube so that you can have the visual if you like that. A conjunction, like I said, is when planets are at the same degrees. You can see here they're both at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This is a very, very big time. Pluto re-entering Aquarius. It's the second to last time it will re-enter Aquarius until it's there for decades. And Mars is here with it. Mars and Pluto are both very, very, very intense. We know Pluto rules the underworld, transformation, rules atomic energy. Mars is ruled by the god of war, right? And there's a lot of active energy in this. Okay, so let's get into some of the nastiness. When you have those types of energies coming together, it can be downright dangerous. People who are on edge can become more on edge. If people are not on edge, they can become on edge. Recklessness, disregard for life in every way, up to actual violence. This is, like I said, really the nastiest aspect this month, and for a while. It's not common that this happens. Mars only crosses Pluto's path every 2-ish years like this, so it is a little bit more rare. And when it happens, we take notice. This can be on the individual level. This can be on the global level. Tensions are high, and people are ready to rumble, and not in a good way completely, although you can also be ready to rumble in a good way, which I'll get to. But this, this is very explosive. This is very combustive, and it's very, very, very intense. So intensity can lead to conflict. All right. So if it's not managed appropriately, it definitely can lead to argument, anything up to actual fighting. Energy that's overly assertive, confrontational. Strong energy around desire for control and manipulation. Maybe you're the person that feels like things are out of control and you're overstepping, or maybe people around you are becoming complete control freaks. If that's happening, this is part of why, if not completely why. Okay. So anything having to do with, people acting out the feeling of a lack of control they have inside, this can really interfere with ethical behavior. And this can stop people from seeing clearly and make them very emotional. There could be a lot of impatience, whether it's driving and driving recklessly, or whether it's trying to push or make something happen in a situation where it's not appropriate to do so. There's definitely that potential for explosive reactions too, and the energetic of having a struggle with letting something go. If something has reached a natural ending, or if somebody is making a choice to end something, the person who is not the one doing the ending may feel very upset about this. So if you are in a situation where you don't feel like you've been safe, you definitely have to do more to safeguard yourself at this time. And if you have to deliver news to somebody that's not going to be good, and you've known this person to be explosive, or there's any chance they could be, consider delivering that news from a safe location, because this is, this is something that if they're already not doing well, this is not going to facilitate doing better. This can also have to do with communities, because the energy of Aquarius has to do with communities, has to do with friendships, social circles. This can be like major bombs being dropped on social media. Be super careful about expressing angst in public domains at this time. It may cause you to regret it, and it may be unfixable. Okay, so if you are mad at somebody and you're going to take it to a public domain where it may not even be legal to do so, because, depending on what it is that you're trying to do, there are protections for people, in these domains. So just really, really, really be careful with your energetic at this time, or what you do with your energy, because the things that you set in motion may boomerang and, come back at you, or have results that you're not looking for, and you may get locked into it. One moment of just being upset could, go and turn into a whole big thing, basically. If you're participating in any kind of activity that already is risky by nature, this is not the time to push it, because this could be the time where you doing whatever this is was okay all these other times. This could be the time where it's not okay. All right, so just hopefully a word to the wise is sufficient there. So now that I've thoroughly upset everybody, which is not my thing to do, if you know my work at all, you know that I am an optimist, and I have a ton of Sagittarius in my chart. I also have a ton of Capricorn, so I blend practical with optimism, and that's my focus. But I always promise that if there's something that looks really like it can be bad, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And here we are. This is me not sugarcoating it. Okay, so now you have the down low of what could happen here. And again, this is not to scare you. This is to forewarn you. If your intuition tells you to not go to a party or go drive with someone, don't do it. Just follow your intuition, because there's extra intensity and chances for these manifestations. So now that we've talked about this, let's talk about some nice things that can happen from this, because they sure can. As I started out the discussion before, this is not like a square or an opposition, or something that is clearly, definitely has to be pretty much a pressure point. I mean, it is a pressure point, but sometimes when we're working with a square, there's kind of no way around it being a difficult thing. But when we're talking about a conjunction, it can go either way. So just as readily as it can turn into all of these things that I talked about, it can also prompt you to do meaningful things that you've been wanting to do that can have amazing outcomes in these perfectly open stars that are ready and ripe for change. Okay, so let's talk about positive ways that this can manifest and positive ways you can actively use this energy. This can give you an intense drive for change. All right, so Mars is the active force. Pluto is transformation. If you've had enough with something and you're ready to take action on something, this could be the time. And if you have some blocks to doing this, you can push through those blocks with this energy. It will make you like your own atomic generator, where you can generate all of this energy to a certain goal. You can also have passionate pursuit of unconventional ideas. So remember, Uranus has to do with unconventional energies. And so there could be something new and different, exciting, maybe even something that you could, turn into a money-making idea, or turn into something that can help humanity solve a problem that we have in the world. It's really, really, really inventive, and it's definitely out of the lines. You'll be coloring out of the lines with this. And it's definitely could be out of the scope of what you might think of in a normal setting, right? So the answer could be somewhere completely off from where you've been focusing. This can also have to do with healing conflict and power struggles, especially in a group setting. So as I told you, that Aquarius energy has to do with groups and teams, networks, humanitarian efforts, internet-based projects, online communities, social interactions, online social things in person. So anything that you have to push through in those settings or try to create. This is a really great creation mechanism, because any of you out there who've had a child, birthing a child into this dimension is very, 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 very painful. It can be. Some of my fellow mamas have maybe had not a painful birth. I did not have that experience. But birthing something into the material plane can be painful. And this is the type of energy of like a growing pain, but something amazing is born. Really, really, really great with problem solving. And this can be absolutely epic for personal empowerment, especially in a group setting or with something that is technological or something that is futuristic or something that is idiosyncratic or eccentric or off the wall. This is a very unusual month. It has a lot of Aquarius energy, and this transit really epitomizes the push for change and the difficulty it takes to get through sometimes busting out of a matrix. We're in a matrix of our reality, and pushing out through the confines of that matrix often takes a lot of force. And this aspect has the force that could be necessary for busting out. Okay, so we've got a lot of other aspects this month. For YouTube friends, I'm going to post my February playlist at the end. Or you can just go to Annie Botticelli YouTube, search for my playlists. I'm finding it's hard to navigate on phones sometimes on YouTube. I don't know if you all are finding that with the way they're doing ads. It's really difficult to get to the person whose channel you're trying to get to. But you can get there. I'm also on Spotify and every other major podcast venue. So you can listen to my February reports there. I go into lots of details about what is going on this month. And if you want a written version of my favorite aspects and the ones to be awareful and careful of, go to anniehelpsyou.com, join my VIP community. When you get the welcome letter, go to the archive link and look for February 2024 astrology. And you'll find my write-up with my favorite aspects of the month, the ones that are dicey, and the general energetics of the month and how to make the most of them. If you've ever wanted to take my astrology certification course, I have a crazy promo going on right now. Usually, since I record my horoscopes so far ahead of time, and my promos don't always sync up when I'm going to be like launching the horoscopes, I can actually offer you all this promo. A lot of times these promos go just to my VIP community. So you all in the public, if you want to go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com, when you register for my astrology certification course now, you get $600 worth of free courses of other courses I've made, including teaching you how to bring your business online and other spiritual and self-development tools for free when you register now. So hopefully you'll go to beastropro.com, see that. Hopefully you'll go to anniehelpsyou.com, join my free VIP community. Hopefully you will click the bell, bing, because if you don't click the bell, you might not be getting me in your feed, and you'll be missing out on all of the content that I am giving you. So I'll catch you in the next video or podcast. Bye.